What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Clemente Collector. And on today's episode, let's talk about upcharges because something's going on right now with PSA, and I think we all need to hear about it.
Batting third, playing right field, number 21, Roberto Clemente.
All right, so let's see the full picture here before we go into upcharges with the grading companies. I want to show you the May grading data right here. All right, so if you want to look at the chart, it looks like PSA graded 867,000 sports cards. SGC was far behind in second, but if you add up PSA and SGC, they are controlling almost 96% of sports cards. 96%. And as Greg warned, and some others warned, the only issue with collectors buying SGC is a possible monopoly in the grading space and what that would do for us being the end user and pricing. So that's what I want to talk about, because PSA is hitting some customers with some upcharges and it could get even worse moving forward. So to start, I got some data here. Let's look at the whole picture. I'm going to look at all four grading companies right now, what they charge for bulk submissions, and what their threshold is to charge more, okay? All right, so first off, and I'm gonna put them all right here. CGC, a bulk costs $11. $11, and that's for non-members. And that's up to $1,000, okay? All right, so Beckett. Beckett's lowest bulk standard is called base. It's $14.95, but Beckett says in their policy they do not upcharge no matter what the value is based on grading. So $14.95 for pretty much any card, and that's for their base. All right, SGC, $15 for standard grading, under $1,500. Okay, here we go. PSA for the value level, okay, which is their lowest level, and this is for non-club members, $24.99. And I believe if you're a club member, it's $18.99. And that's like a 45-day turnaround, I want to say. And the card has to be under $500. Under $500. So SGC was $1,500. Beckett was infinity. And CGC was $1K. Okay? So PSA is less than $500. So that's what this video is all about right now. I'm going to show you what happened on Twitter recently and how this all got brought to my attention and how I thought it was important to bring to the hobby to start talking about it. So somebody named Cardsmax on X, he recently tweeted that, and I'll put it all on the screen right now. He recently tweeted that normally when he sent a bulk submission in to PSA, normally they would charge him $40 for an upcharge if it was over $500, okay? So he wasn't sending in the regular service, he was sending in the bulk service, and they would charge him $40 if the card was between $500 and $1,500, okay? And recently, if you want to read through this and pause it, recently PSA started charging him $75 upcharge for those cards on a bulk submission, okay? So once again, pause it if you want to read through his communication with PSA. All right, so let me tell you what I think about this, okay? So here's what's going on, okay? So it seems like before, if somebody was submitting something bulk, which was a 45-day, but we know in the vintage community, it's been longer than 45 days a lot of times, okay? So if somebody was submitting a card for bulk and it was taking 45 days, and it was between $500 and $1,500, PSA was upcharging to $40, okay? That kind of makes sense, I guess. I don't love it, but it kind of makes sense. But now they're saying, well, actually, you should have never submitted that card for bulk, because bulk submission, it says cards under $500 for bulk, and that's it. So we're going to charge you the $75, and I'm going to put it on the screen, $75 for regular 10-day window, $75 for a 10-day turnaround time, and it's for $1,500 or below. So they said, oh, we're gonna upcharge you to the 75 tier. Okay. Well, why is that important? Okay. Well, first off, when you send in cards, PSA has been so sporadic with their grading. First off, you don't know what your card's going to get. So the difference between a 5 and a 4, or a 4 and a 3, or them giving it a 1 instead of an authentic, that could be the difference between the card being worth $550 or the card being worth $300. So the collector doesn't know, pretty much, okay? So now what this is doing is, in my opinion, they're taking forever on these bulk vintage submissions. I know they're getting better. So what it's doing now is, if you're a collector and you got stung with this, and you're sitting here with a card and you're on the fence, you're like, it could be worth $300 if they grade it this, it could be worth $500 if they grade it this. They're hoping that the collector submits that card as a regular and pays the $75 up front. And then let's say it actually gets the lower grade and is worth $300. Is PSA returning your money? No. So they're forcing your hand now, because why are you going to send it in for a bulk submission and wait at least 35 days longer? At least 35 days longer. So PSA is actually being really smart here, and they're slapping some people's hands and going, nope, that's over $500. Here's a fee. You still had to wait 45 days for the cards to come back. And now hopefully in the future, you'll do the regular service and give us full price, basically. So I don't know what you guys think, but here's my biggest issue with it, okay? My biggest issue with it is it's just so rigid, right? Like I said, you're guessing on your grades, okay? You're looking at VCP. You're trying to figure out comps. You're not a grader. You're sending them in to get graded, right? You're not the expert. They are. So you're sending them in. They're forcing your hand to kind of figure out what tier it goes in, right? Why isn't there a bulk level for 1,500 and below, or 1K and below? Why is that not an option? Because they don't want it to be an option, right? They want you to pay $75 no matter what if your card's over $500. How crazy is that? You go to the National, you buy a raw card for $500, let's say. It's a Roberto Clemente second-year card in really great condition, right? You paid $500. You send it to PSA for $75 plus shipping. So now you're $600 into that card because of the shipping and the taxes and everything like that. $600 now for a $500 card. How is this not crazy? I think this is insane. This is literally insane. I understand. Well, I bought a $50 card and I paid $15 for grading. Percentage-wise, it kind of makes sense, right? It's just, come on. This is getting out of hand, okay? This is what PSA says. Well, we charge extra because if we have to cover ourselves. If that card gets damaged, if you come back to us and say that card's a fake, and now we have to give you all your money back because we graded a fake card, we need to cover ourselves. Come on, get out of here. You're giving deals on Pokemon and TCG cards all the time, grading them for far, far less. This is absolutely ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous. At minimum, the threshold should be $1,000. Come on. And I know this is a rant all about PSA, but this is ridiculous. I really, really hope people start saying stuff about this. The problem is everybody feels helpless with PSA. They honestly do. They feel like they're locked into the registry, or they've collected all PSA slabs. They obviously have like 80 to 90% of the total market. If you count SGC in there, they got like 95% of the market. They're the corporation, they're the monopoly, and we have to do what they say. But it really sucks. I'm worried for the future of SGC with this. What could they do with SGC upcharges? Because that's been one of SGC's big things from the beginning, is that, the $1,500 and below, basically not upcharging anybody, right? So I really, really hope, somebody high up starts talking about stuff like this. I hope more YouTubers start talking about this, and they change grading fees like they change their clothes. So nothing set, in my opinion, nothing is set in stone. You know, they change grading, grading service levels all the time. So maybe if enough people say something, maybe an adjustment could be made. But man, it really does feel like the collectors are getting taken advantage of. And what's going to happen is if a dealer has a $500 card, pays $75 for the upcharge, now the card costs them $575. Now basically everything in the PSA slab at that price level goes up for the collector buying it. And same thing for the collector. If you invested or you paid $575 for that card, you're gonna put a buy it now at that price. Prices are just gonna go up for us. That's all it's gonna do. PSA obviously is gonna be the big winner, and the end collector is gonna be the one that's gonna end up paying for these upcharges in the long run. And it's gonna really suck, to be honest with you. Me personally, I don't buy a lot of 500 plus cards. I might get 1 or 2 a year, just based on my budget. But it's just scary thought of, they have 96% of the market now. What's going to happen? SGC was the only thing that could possibly get in their way. And now they bought SGC out. So, well, thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love to hear your comments down below if you agree with me. If you disagree, perfectly fine. Like I said, I'm not hating on PSA as a company. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.